Welcome back, everybody. We have successfully sent Calabash back to whatever stupid place he came from, even though by accident. And now we find ourselves in this room. Jewel, you're prone, but you're alive. You've been healing worded. The danger has passed.
The real question, Adam, is can I repair the circle and bring him back?
Yeah, totally. If you wanted to.
Everybody get ready around the circle. Get ready. Everybody gather around.
Makaria, you've lost a Skeletor.
Makaria is incredibly angry and bloodthirsty, but recognize that every single one of us has very little health, and bringing him back immediately would be unwise.
Fair.
But what if we bring him back after we feel better, and then you could murder him and turn him into a skeleton?
See, here's the thing. I'm at conflict with my character because all she wants to do is kill him immediately. But I don't think we are capable of that personally. And I think getting rid of him could be just as easily accomplished by erasing this circle.
Does he count as defeated if he's gone forever?
You don't get the experience for fighting him in combat.
Oh.
I'm just saying he opened up with a 5th level spell.
But also he's a wizard. And if we beat him
If you can beat him in initiative and just kick the crap out of him, he'll probably go down pretty fast, yeah.
Well, I still would suggest that, like...
I mean, we definitely have to rest. That's a given. Like, we cannot take him at 9 HP or whatever. But, I don't know.
The Reverend's probably going to leave if we rest as well. But, I mean, that's what we'll do. Yeah, I'm not exploring any more rooms without any hit dice and without this health. Need to rest.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that we rest, but Makaria is just like, bring that bastard back. I want to murder him.
Allow me to play the rational part of your brain with Rin.
Thank you. Thank you.
And say, because I want to kill him out of character, but in character, Rin is smarter than that. She would be like, I think if we're going to bring him back, we should wait until we are somewhat stronger.
I want to strip his flesh from his bones and make him replace the skeleton that he cost me.
It's very colorful.
Yeah, Haleth looks at you like, girl, you got problems.
He would just kill you. Yes, I want to kill him as well, but you don't win a battle going in with no troops or some such other military saying. I read it in the book. It was...
That hurt a lot.
Yes.
It was very cold.
Haleth is coming around to what it appears that you're saying. And he says, why not just leave the wizard where he is and go? This is a dead end.
It is.
He killed one of my creations.
We could just leave him. That's a possible solution.
Oh, yes, because leaving a drunken wizard who knows exactly what we look like, just alone in some... What if he comes up behind us and does that again?
He can't fix the circle from wherever he is.
You said that this is an exit. Maybe there's an entrance from the other side.
But if the exit
He's locked himself in the fridge. So Haleth looks at you when you say that, right? And he says, then why not just erase the circle altogether and damn him to stay wherever he is now?
Because that may not be the place we want him to be if he's somewhere that we're going to encounter later and run into him in a surprise. Whereas we'll know where he is right now if I bring him back here.
Maybe he's encountered your friends. Wouldn't you want information about their
I don't need information. They're that way. And he points. He's like, I can feel it. We just need to press on.
In either case, none of us are in very good shape, which I imagine puts us at a significant disadvantage if we're to encounter your friends. She says with the air quotes. Whether we choose to bring back Drunky McDrunkface is a different question to whether we choose to rest at some point.
Can you tell where it is this circle is leading to, Rin?
You cannot.
No. That's not the nature of the circle, unfortunately. It only goes the one way.
He was yelling for Durnan.
I'm sure at some point this laboratory was a place connected to, you know, him going above and having drinks in the tavern or what have you, but not anymore.
Well, regardless, we need this rest now.
The creatures from here have to have come from somewhere. If he's human, it serves to be reasonable that he's probably from Waterdeep.
So out of character, are we in a group consensus that we want a long rest? Is that?
I think we need
Yes.
a rest, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I need a long rest. I am out of hit dice. I can't do anything until a long rest.
I don't recall how long it's been that we've been down here.
Oh, since the last time you took a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 24 hours.
We discovered secret
It's
door
definitely been
behind
less than
me.
a full day. Like, since you can take one rest every 8 hours. So if you take it now, like, you took a long rest
Back upstairs.
back upstairs, but that was definitely not, like, that was the beginning of a 24-hour period.
I
So
mean,
if you take it now, you have to wait a full 24 before you can do it again. Which is
I
fine.
don't know. So I have very few consumables as a rogue, so I don't have like a good measure other than hit points and hit dice of like how many spell slots y'all have left.
I have a second level spell, a first level spell, and two. No, I've got 1 third level, 2 second level, and 1
I
first level.
have a first level left.
So we've used a fair bit of our.
Not long resting is.
I mean, worst case, I can create the tiny hut and we can just hang out in it for 24 hours. It's cool.
I mean, I feel like the thing is that if we want to try and summon this guy again, we have to long rest before we do it.
Mhm.
If
Do we want to do that, or do we want to just go explore more? Like we can come back here if we want to deal with him. Like
Come back here at level 6.
Oh.
No,
Sorry,
yes.
I got it.
We'll have more spells.
as much as I like the idea of murdering him for the XP,
I feel like I whatever level he is that he can cast 5th level spells, I don't know enough about wizards to know if we're actually capable of like.
I mean,
If we'd all attacked, then good chance we would have bloodied him minimum.
I'm
Then
not too
I can't-
fast.
I can't go to
either
another.
way,
I'm totally
matter.
capped. I need that 8 hour. I need it. Otherwise I'm useless. The tank will die instantly.
Mm,
long rest needed by our tank.
Let's do it. It's
Okay.
not
So
a big deal. Like you said, worst case, we can tiny hut it for 24 hours. And
So
then
you
we'll
say that, right? You're like, we're gonna rest here, and Halath is like, fine, another hour, and then we go.
It'll
Nah,
be a little
dude.
longer than that.
I can't wait any longer than that. You don't
You've been
understand.
waiting in a hole for the last 2 weeks. Patience.
And he snarls at you, and he says, "And I'm done waiting." And I think he's gonna leave. I think he's just like, "Fuck this, I'm going."
Goodbye.
Hey, give us our
no.
mace back.
8.
He's like, he storms off.
No.
That's my mace.
I mean, unless you actively try to stop him.
I am actively trying to stop him.
How actively?
I tell my zombie boy to. Oh no.
Your zombie's very slow.
I yell at 8 to go and get him, and tell him he can kill him if he wants to. He'll come back.
Yeah,
He's left. He's walked out in the kitchen. Okay, so
Okay, but like, get.
Yeah,
we're
I
just-
got-
yeah, that's fine. So
Hey,
I guess he ends up probably like, let's give him his full move, and then you can make yours. So he was like there. So he ends up here. And then where were you before? You were by the bed?
Right here.
Yeah, I was in this
Like there.
corner.
So you can get to like, yeah, there. So this is, so you follow him. He turns around. He's got the mace in his hand. He looks at you and he says, I have to get my vengeance. You don't understand. I can feel it back of my mind. He's like clutching the mace. You can see he's trembling.
I understand much better than you think.
Then you know you have to let me go.
Yes.
Maybe you don't
What
understand.
Is mine.
And you like look down and he looks down at the mace and he looks at you. Can you make an insight check?
Steal my mace, what asshole. Yes, sorry. I had to pop the thing out, so it's not where I expected.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. There is a stoic expression on his face you cannot read. But when he sees you look at the mace, he says, I only need to borrow it for a bit.
I followed behind 8.
Okay.
And I love the Revenant and I want to keep him. And so I cast Vampiric Touch on him.
You have to touch him. You actually have to like, get close to
No,
him.
the hand touches him.
Is this another touch spell that you don't have to touch someone with?
The range is self. It creates a shadow wreathed hand that can siphon life force from others to heal my wounds.
Who keeps doing this? It's chill touch. It's vampiric touch.
It's
You
not
don't have
actually
to touch them. What the
Yeah.
fuck? How dare you, Dungeons and Dragons? How dare you? Here in your own house. All right.
So it's range self.
And then you have to touch them, right?
Yeah, she's still not touching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't do the touch. So your hand
Okay.
crackles with like vampiric energy or whatever. He has there's nothing but threat behind that, right? Like he sees it
Yeah.
and he shakes his head and he says, it doesn't have to go this way. Don't get in my way. I have a mission to accomplish. And once it's done,
You will be dead. For real. I understand you more than you understand yourself.
he is just so buried under the delusion that it's like his god that is powering him. And he says, I'm leaving and I'm taking this weapon with me and I'm going to use it to get my revenge. And once I crawl back out of here, if a lot of you are still alive, I'll find you and I'll return it.
That's not going to happen.
He interprets that to mean that you're gonna like take it from him, not that like he's gonna die.
No, I don't want him to leave. He's a cool revenant thing, and I want to study him.
He says, if you intend to get in my way, then let's get this over with.
Okay.
Yeah, as
looks
he's
at
doing
Rin
this,
like while they're still in this room and is like, something's not going well.
We're not picking a fight with the mage specifically because we can't pick a fight with the mage, but picking a fight with the never mind.
Yeah, as they're talking, as it's like becoming threats, 8 shrugs and turns around. Like I can't move because we're doing this. But
Yeah, I mean,
as they're talking,
You can
I'm
move.
just-
Yeah, you can turn around and walk off. That's fine.
Wait, you're gonna not fight him?
Yeah, I can't if I wanted to, and 8 knows that as well. It's just not going to happen. You can only enforce your will so much as you can actually do things.
Yeah, he's calling your bluff, right? And like,
Yeah, like, and that's what that was. It was like, give it back. And if I could read him, and he's like, no, I'm taking it. I'm like, fine, I can't.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Plus, 8 sort of gets it. You're built with a purpose. Sometimes you gotta do the thing.
Yeah, he's got to do what he's got to do. He's got to go kill Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
So, so 8 turns around and begins to walk away back through the kitchen. And he looks at you, Makaria, like, well.
I tell my Zombo to go attack him.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Okay. You don't attack him yourself?
No, I'm going to. But
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
make
So
the
we'll
zombie do
roll.
it
So you just like
first.
command the zombie, and the zombie like lunges forward. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's make an initiative roll.
Disruption mace is gonna fuck the zombie up.
I don't know that though.
No,
and
it's true.
I just like I can't imagine a mini necromancer allowing the only revenant she's ever seen
No,
out of.
it's totally fine. Everybody's playing their character. Eight
Sorry, I
and
just wanna
Macaria, 8 and Macaria both like take inspiration for that because you're both.
I want to
doing it.
check though, Blooge. As much as I say that, do you want me to help as a player? Do you need me to help you fight it?
I
Or
mean,
are you
yes.
supposed to have made-
Macaria is not
Well,
like
so
frontline fighter, but
I think
like,
if we're looking for in character stuff, Dave, too, remember that if he attacks your friend, that might override your like.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't mind re-justifying it as that afterwards. It's more like, are you happy if we don't help you because you've consigned yourself to a losing fight based on your character thing that you've done?
I mean, you do whatever. I don't like. I really like. It's up to you whether you think that you would just let someone like.
That's
get murdered in
just
front
as
of
the
you.
thing, Blue Jay. So the thing Dave is asking is for your permission to play his character and not help you, knowing that you could die fighting this guy and that you're not going to be mad at everybody else for not backing you up.
It's an out of character question.
Yeah, it's just that's the question as players, not.
I mean, I'm not gonna be mad if like you really think that 8 would just be like, well, I mean, she's just dead, I guess. Like, that's your decision. But I've backed you guys up in places where I didn't think that like I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like sure.
It's
Then
cool.
Okay,
I will probably end up helping.
Macaria, can you roll initiative?
Yeah.
Should I and Jewel also roll something?
We might as well. We might as well get initiative from everybody.
Just in case we're doing stuff here.
My Zambo.
So while everybody's rolling initiative, we cut to a scene of the Yawning Portal, right? Now we can see everybody in the Yawning Portal. We see noble ladies and men. We see adventurers. We see everybody like drinking and talking, but we can't see any of their faces. They're all like faced away from the camera, weirdly. And sitting at the bar, we see Calabash. And he's leaning on the bar and he's talking to Durnan. We can't see Durnan's face. And he's just like, I see your magic tricking him, fill the room with magic sparkles. And it just got cold and a fire. And I made a spell happen and it got sent back here. And we turn, and as he leans back, we see that it's Durnan's body, but he has Halaster's face. And Halaster Durnan leans over and like looks at him and he's like, and then what happened? And he leans back and he waves his arm, and we turn and we see everyone in the Yawning Portal has Halaster's face. We see like a beautiful, like a buxom courtesan with Halaster's face. It's like a fucking Aphex Twin music video. And everybody in the tavern, and they all turn and they're like paying deep attention to him as he like leans back and he's like, and I said to him, "You're not my dad." And then we cut back to the room. So listen, you get stuck in a alternate dimension, it's gonna go bad for you. All right, so Macaria, you are first.
Okay. I am gonna go get up in his face and do my touchy touch business.
Okay. Now, you rolled. That's fine. I was gonna say before you do this, revenants are resistant to necrotic damage.
But it also heals me.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
It does a 15.
It does hit him. Yes. Yeah. He's only got leather armor on.
Okay. That's like nothing. What the fuck?
That's a bad roll. A 1, a 4, and a 2.
I regain hit points equal to half the amount of damage dealt.
So half the amount of damage dealt is 1.
Is it? I think it's half the amount of damage No?
Because you deal him half of 7.
All right.
And so half of that is 1.
What?
Nice.
So sorry, I gotta adjust that. It only dealt 3. Okay.
Good.
So you reach out with your black hand and like the necrotic energy crackles over his skin, and he looks down at it and he scowls, but mostly your pathetic attempt, like, Joaquin protects me. Anything else Bonus action? You've already commanded your zombie.
I mean, yeah, my bonus action would have been the zombie.
Okay. All right. 8.
Wait, I had already cast Vampiric Touch.
Yeah, but the
before.
attack is you got to touch. It's a physical thing.
But that means I didn't cast a spell this turn.
Yeah, that's right. If you have a
So I can
spell.
bonus action spiritual weapon.
Oh, you want to conjure up your... Okay, that misses, but you conjure the flaming skull or whatever.
Nice. I
Let me
put it
grab
right
it.
there.
Okay, hold on. I was on a different screen when you said where you...
No, it's totally fine.
Where is it?
It's right there.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, all right. Such a cool guy.
I love it. Oh, he's a cool
8.
guy.
It is your turn. Makaria has attacked.
Yeah, I'm not letting him go.
This guy.
Whether you were willing to or not. I mean, just like it's fine it's fine. Like if you think 8 would just be like, well, there goes that party member. Like it's fine.
It's that, and it's also the fact that I know we as a group, with the capabilities we have right now and the health that we have no chance of beating him. He will like kill the whole party. So that's what makes it a more difficult decision on top of not wanting to.
Like 8, we could make it a roll. You could try to convince Makaria not to fight him, right? You could be like, Makaria, stop this foolishness. If Makaria, you think a persuade check might work?
Yes, that would be my first pull.
Makaria, could you be persuaded by 8 that you're being a dumbass? Knowing what you know, and the fact that you just like totally whiffed that vampiric touch.
Oh god, that she's such a piece of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, but people can change. I think I would like to suggest that you give 8 a shot at convincing you.
Yeah. I mean, yes, like there's room to be persuaded if she just sees herself make like absolutely no headway on this guy.
Yeah,
sure.
and part of this, like for folks who are in chat, like this doesn't feel like an awkward situation to me. Like this is just like when Dave shot the dragon. Like we want to play our characters, but we also want to be players who are respecting each other's performance of the characters and knowing that we're on a team and like talk that stuff out. So
not DC 45.
What's the DC, Makaria?
DC
I usually default to whatever your like 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
Yeah, that'd be 14.
Okay. 8, what do you say?
Makaria, you can't stop him. All of us together could not stop him right now. Please stop. Please.
Okay. That's perception.
Yeah, try that again.
My persuasion is a loss.
Whoa! Fuck yeah!
I think it was the please that really
Yeah.
sold, you know?
Jesus. Okay.
With a cherry on top.
All right. Yes.
Makaria looks down at her hand, which just did like it's glowing with like this like green black like oozing disgusting necrotic energy, which just did basically nothing to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looks back at him and she's like, "Fine, to your death then." And like acts like it's totally her decision to let him go.
I've chosen to let you go.
Yeah, I've chosen to let him go. Yeah, it's definitely not because he could murder all of us.
Okay.
So we'll see if that persuades him as well.
8, are you gonna move? Do you want to do anything with the rest of your turn?
I mean, like it's all kind of happening. No, I just stand and I just
Hope.
I do say a please.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just hope that when Makaria gets the opportunity to act, she'll actually turn
true.
around,
Yeah.
as opposed to pretending, like, which is still not outside of the realm possibility in 8's head. It's like, fine, I'll let you go. I just like turn around and try to take it.
Rin, do you want to move out into the room to take a look, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely
Okay.
like, what the fuck is happening? What are these nerds doing? And then it looks like everybody's kind of at a standstill right now, so I don't think I'll like act.
I mean, I've been magicking all over the place. But
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, you walk into a tense situation. Yeah, you get a pretty good read on it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So Haleth on his turn looks at you, Makaria. We hear the creak of like his fist on the leather grip of the hammer or on the mace, and he says, "I owed you a debt for dragging me up out of that pit. Your life is my repayment." And he walks away.
I want to fucking murder him. But obviously, that's not in the cards.
Yeah.
I have 7 hit points.
Jewel, what do you want to do?
She sneaks us around.
Shoot it with the short bow in the back and he moves.
I didn't do it. I don't know who shot you.
Okay, I roll. She stealths. 29.
Nice. Okay, so you take the hide action and then you can move.
Yeah, she will hide and then she moves to see what the heck is like going on, and she's like hiding behind the like dead body of the zombie.
Okay. All right. Makaria, your zombie chases after him.
But it's too slow.
Yeah, it's just like you all stop fighting, but the zombie doesn't understand any of the other stuff that's going on, so he's just like, and like shambles after him. Your turn, Makaria. What do you want to tell the zombie to stop?
Yes.
Okay.
I drop my spells and I pat my little skull on the head and dismiss it and tell the zombie to come back. And
okay, yeah, the zombie returns. All right, so combat is resolved. All right.
don't run across a creature like that very often.
No, you don't.
I certainly hope he does not get his vengeance before I get to examine him more closely.
A relationship between a character like Galeth Hark or Haleth Gark or Garrus Vicarian or whatever the fuck his name is, and Makaria would be so fucked up because for the only reason to keep him alive is to prevent him from getting the one thing he wants most in the universe. He'd be like, no, you can't have it. All in good time, my love. Yeah, oof. It's a nightmare. What happens to a revenant if they can't get what they wanted? Like if you wanted revenge and all of his guys die, the people who want revenge on, if they die of old age.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Happens? Disappears.
I think they just die, right? They only have like a certain amount of time to get what they want. I'm gonna look.
So.
It's interesting because it doesn't say either way, but I've got to imagine that there's something that's not him, an external power that decides whether he gets to be a revenant.
Yeah.
And if he can't be, like, is that a Merkel thing?
Well, let me see.
I don't think Merkel is revenants.
No,
he's more about undead creatures.
I'm looking to see if there is a god of. I'm seeing if there's a god of vengeance in the Forgotten Realms, because it would be them, because the gods do everything in Faerun, right?
Yeah, because a god. In my head, that's how it makes sense, because a god would have to know.
Oh, there is. There's a lawful neutral power. I really need to be careful how I pronounce this. I think his name is Hor.
Hor?
I think that's his name. It's spelled Hoar.
Like
yep.
Horfrost?
It's pronounced Hor. Hor the Doombringer. He was an exarch of Bane. He is the vengeful deity of retribution, invoked by those who seek to repay an eye for an eye. He's a lawful neutral god of revenge and retribution. Is he alive?
That says a lot about the person who wrote the gods of the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
What did the god of revenge is called?
He's neutral. Yeah.
He's lawful neutral. Yeah. So vengeance is lawful and good, according to this. So he
lawful and neither good nor bad.
Yeah. Temple of Horror rare. He was worried. He's worshipped elsewhere as Asaran, a deity of revenge. He has some connection to the Mulhorandi, and Fae. But yeah, so he's a god of revenge. So that would be the guy responsible for deciding whether or not. So I guess probably it would be up to the circumstances. Like if those people had kids, you could get your revenge on them, right? Sins of the father and that whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. But let me see if there's any amount of time that's preset, because this is PCs can become this. Oh, there is time. Let's see. You have, because it says 1 year to exact revenge. Okay, that's how it works. So if he's still alive in a year and hasn't gotten his revenge, then he turns to dust. There you go. So you would know that, Makaria, because you got that good check on your religion.
Right.
Yeah. So you have a year if he fails, and if he finds his killers and they kill him again in 24 hours, he'll come back.
Yeah.
So.
I just wanted, like, Makaria wants to kill him over and over again and watch him return to life.
The problem is he comes back somewhere else. He doesn't just come back on as himself.
Oh.
Yeah. So if a revenant dies, they what's the description? It's like animates another corpse on the same plane of existence and regains all its hit points.
What if it only gets his arms chopped off? Then he just his arms chop off?
When the revenant's body is destroyed, I think if he dies, like loses all his hit points, he just keeps regenerating. You have to destroy his body.
That's what she would do.
Sorry, Sekiro the Revenant. He's a Dark Souls character.
Oh man. Anyway, she's just like looking after him and like clenching her fists and just like imagining all of the horrible experiments she could have done with a living creature that was not quite living. And then she looks at her little Zombo friend and she's like, not quite. And then she would like go back to, I guess, where we're gonna rest.
Yeah. So you want to go and lock yourselves in the room over here?
I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, the door doesn't have a lock, but it shuts. And it does have that cool warning on it that says don't come in here if you're not Halaster. So.
I mean, and there's a big old chest and a bed that we could push in front of it if we want to make it more like safe.
Secure, but also I can just cast Liamon's tiny hut and then we're safe.
Yeah, a tiny hut.
All of it. Multi-layered protection. That's
Hut.
You're in a room.
Will
you're in a
you
hut,
at the
in a
very-
room, in a dungeon,
In a dungeon, in a mountain.
in a city, at the bottom of the sea.
Will you, at the very least, allow my friend to rest in the hut with us?
You mean you're stinking,
Please.
disgusting, dead
the
zombie?
zombie waves at you.
No,
Why not?
because it'll be perfectly safe outside.
I turn
Also,
over to
I don't
my-
want to exist in a 10-foot space with a zombie.
Ah, fine. Play dead over there. And I point to the wall and it just like goes over there and like slumps down and takes a sleepy bye.
Meh. Falls down. Okay. All right. Yeah, in this room, you're far enough away from like the hubbub of the market that anything that would wander this way would be attracted to that instead. So you have a moment, several moments strung together. You have 8 hours worth of moments to get that rest you need. So everybody gets a long rest.
Yeah.
Recover all your hit dice and shit. Well, not all of them. You get half your hit dice.
Yeah. Not great, but
Yeah, but you'll get them rest back. So fade to black, fade back up, and everybody's like tightening the straps in their armor, and the zombie is still pretending to be dead in the corner. What would you like to do?
The tiny hut is dispelled.
That's right.
I tell my idiot Zambo to wake up.
He gets up.
Jewel like points at the circle.
Oh yeah, everybody gets experience.
Right.
So let me divide. I'm not going to count Gareth Vicarian or whatever. I'm not going to count him for fighting the mimic because he actively was like, no, do it yourselves.
oh yeah, man.
So everybody gets 112 experience for that. Jewel, you get an extra 250 for opening the locked chest.
Heck yeah, I
And-
do.
8, I'm going to give you credit for defeating the Revenant by diffusing the Makaria situation. So you get another 250.
Sure.
So sorry, we get to start with 122?
112.
112.
Oh, 112. Okay.
Yeah, 112 for everybody. Then Jewel and 8 get another 250. Okay. And then
The exact same amount as 8.
and then I think yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, so I'm giving out experience for overcoming like challenges. There was a trap in the chest. So getting the crown there wasn't a challenge. There was nothing bad that could happen there.
There was a trap in the chest.
There was, yeah. There was a magical trap. If you had failed that roll, you would have gotten electrocuted.
Oh, I figured there was something with the whole like spark thing.
Yeah. No,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Them gloves of thievery, weird looking paws, but
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, when you added to Elf's number, Elf was above us before.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't you all have slightly different experience points now.
Do it to yourself.
I just my bad.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's fine. We went from very fiat, like finish a chapter, get a level thing, to like actively tracking. It's been a while, so.
You should be at the same amount as me because I got 250 for something previously.
Okay, so I will restart.
okay.
I'll restart the long rest counter. You now have to wait 24 hours before taking another long rest.
Okay,
we have
but
8921.
Right.
It's actually 8911 because I did 122 when it was 112. So 8911.
well,
Did you have a question, Blue Jay?
anywho,
It sounded
Oh,
like you had a question.
it was. I don't remember.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it was about experience points.
Was it, can I have some more? The answer is no. All right.
No.
So the reason the 24 hours thing is you can take a long rest once every 24-hour period, and that period starts at the end of the last long rest you took. So you have to wait now another 24.
Well, but like if the long rest is included in the 24
it is
hour
not.
period.
It is not. It's absolutely not. It's from the end of one long rest to the beginning of the next.
So it's
No,
not
but-
really like sleeping.
But the 8 hour, I don't think that the 8 hour period of the long rest, like if you can take a long rest
me
once
look.
every 24 hour period, the beginning of that long rest is inside of the 24 hour period, not
So
outside.
that would otherwise that would mean we're awake for 24 hours at a
No,
time.
no. You can sleep, but you can't benefit from the mechanical advantages of a long rest. It says a character can't benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period.
Well, exactly, but that long rest, the 8 hours
But
of
you
the
don't.
long
You don't.
rest
No, but
is
you don't get the
included.
benefits. You don't get the benefits of the long rest until the end of the long rest.
Oh,
Well, the
okay.
new 24 hours starts at the end, but the
Yes.
start of the long rest is inside of the 24 hours. You can end a long rest every 24 hours and get the benefits of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so you mean you can start the long rest
you
8
can
hours
start at
before, and then yes,
16
that
Yeah.
makes
started at
sense.
16 hours, and then at
And
the
then you get
end,
the
Yeah.
benefit
Yeah.
because it ends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can start it any time after 16 hours have passed
And get the
because it has
benefits.
to. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, it's the last infinitesimal piece of time where it actually counts.
So we can long rest in like
But an
16 hours.
interrupted long rest, if a rest is interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, then you have to begin it again to gain any benefit from it.
And if you don't sleep,
yes.
I mean, but
long-
that's
I'm
why
just-
you would get exhaustion, right? If you couldn't sleep over and over and over again.
I'm just trying to see if this makes any difference. I don't think it does. I think you're fine. Okay, no, you're good.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, I just need to know how many hours to count. The problem is that D&D gives us these like very specific hour counts for stuff, but no real way to count how many hours are passing.
Yeah,
in the
like
game.
how do you know how many hours are
Like
passing
in
wandering
basic, it
around?
takes X amount of time to walk a certain amount of distance, right? Like we could
Why would
theoretically do that, but
Why would it be based on 24 hours when the day isn't 24 hours long?
you know what? Don't worry about it. All right,
All right,
cool.
let's go and explore the rest of the dungeon. We can do it at our own pace now. We can go. You can go back up, and we can go and do that bit.
Yeah, you've just ditched the nerd boy, so
And then there's more interesting stuff on this level. I like Jewel is genuinely pointing at the summoning circle and being like, "Are we doing this now, or do we want to not do this now?"
Your choice. I can fix it if you want me to.
I would like to find more corpses.
Well, we can make one, I think is the idea.
I don't know. Can we? And she turns and looks pointedly at A, who is just like, you can't fight him. He's not. You're going to. Sorry, she's being a little shit.
such a whiner. So yeah, talk to me about what the plan is.
I think we. I don't know if we can take this wizard guy. So maybe we should go and explore more elsewhere. What do you think,
Yeah.
friends?
I want another level at least. That scared me. I need a level up first.
Yeah, you're like, let's come back after we've had some more
right.
experiences.
All right, cool.
Okay.
He'll be here. Or wherever.
All right, so there's the pump room, there's the goblin market, there's another northwest exit from the pump room, and there's the door over here.
Door. I think that's where Jules headed.
I figured that's the good one, yeah. Good shout, Jewel.
Okay. All right. So you want to head, you think this way? Like carry on because you're already down here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave the goblins alone. They're just having a lovely time by themselves. I don't want to.
So.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay. All right. So you approach this door. What are you gonna do?
Is it locked?
Nope. This is a regular stone door, like the rest of the dungeon. I'll let you know if a door is special.
Jewel, open the door.
Okay. All right. You open the door. Beyond, let me read the description of the next room for you. So beyond that doorway, there is another workshop. This workshop reeks of rotting flesh and ozone. Odd metal instruments rest atop tables, along with several loose scraps of parchment laying about. There's an exit from the room up here.
Oh.
Jewel opens the door and I can smell the smell of like death and decay.
Rotting flesh and like lightning strikes.
Oh.
Is it clear where the smell of rotting flesh is coming from?
Everywhere.
But are there like
It suffuses the area.
It's coming from Macaria. Let's
okay? Like,
Yeah.
there's not like a body.
Yeah,
or
when
something.
you okay, so Jewel, you're like, oh, where's that smell coming from? And you look over and there's a zombie standing next to you. He's like, ah.
Yeah. But like she doesn't see like a body in the room. So
No. This room is just like a workshop scattered with weird tools.
Yeah, she'll kind of like
Four and a
looks
half more weird tools walk into the room.
Ha.
and assumes that Macaria will,
Yes, I want to look around at
Investigate.
all the things.
and instead goes to look around the corner.
Okay. So Macaria,
Yeah.
make an investigation check.
I'm using my inspiration.
Fuck yeah.
Because, oops, I forgot to use my inspiration.
I'm using my inspiration. I didn't use my inspiration. Okay. 16. All right. So the only thing of real interest here, you don't understand what any of these tools are. There's a lot of copper, like rods. There's like a length of wire that's like burnt and melted. There's bits of like dried or burnt flesh on the end of a lot of these spiked like implements. And what is interesting though is you pick up like bits and pieces of paper that say things like rate of decay or accumulation of charge on them. But you do discover there's a piece of paper that when you pick it up, it begins to speak.
Oh,
It has written on it, and as you look at it, the words like glow as it speaks out loud, and you hear
Ronald Weasley.
no, you hear a voice. You hear, Day 1. Halaster has granted me this abandoned copper mine in the arcane chambers. Finally, I have access to the components needed for my experiments. Everything beyond that is smudged and illegible.
Are you
the
hearing
voice,
this as well?
Yeah, everybody hears it. It plays out loud. The voice is a woman's voice. She sounds young-ish. Yeah. So Jewel, you can see into this other room, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that room, 12 wooden barrels covered in dust rest against the walls.
There's something in here. I'm checking it.
All right.
She would like to go up to one of these barrels.
Okay.
Zombies in a barrel. It's like a barrel full of monkeys.
There's also a hallway going this way. But yeah, through here, there's just barrels, like a dozen barrels in the room, all standing up against the walls. Yeah, they're wooden, they're sealed. They don't seem like marked in any way. And there's a door on the other end of the room. This door is unusual because it is like the other doors, but it's got big copper plates riveted to it.
It appears that the woman who just spoke through this paper was studying the interactions of electricity electricity on decay of
Huh.
flesh.
Jewel
So
So
May I make an inference that
Jewel,
I am currently
A
making?
crowbar.
real quick before Rin, you speak, over here on the wall directly opposite you, there is a hammock. The hammock is laden with blankets and hangs from an anchor right there.
Is it empty? I mean, I guess it's
It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's got blankets. So it's like right
So
here.
on this one?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. In which case, then Jules gonna quietly move towards it.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll stealth?
Yes, please.
I would just personally, and I'm like trying to like keep it on a level if I see that Jules like sneaking.
Okay.
Recommend
You actually
the
can't
kid-
see Jewel doing anything. She's very
Okay, well, I
sneaky.
could when I was over here.
Freaking invisible.
All right, so Jewel, you sneak up to the hammock. The hammock does appear to have like stuff in it, but that stuff does not appear to be a person. It's like it's like a Ferris Bueller's Day Off situation.
Yeah. She like relaxes a little bit and she's gonna kind of pick through some of the blankets just to see if like what's in it.
Tucked into the folds of the hammock's moldy blankets is another page from the log. So you pick it up and it begins to speak. Day 3. I no longer trust the other apprentices. What they see as mysticism, I know to be science. I can't stand their incantations and their mutterings any longer. If any of them try to intrude on my laboratory again, they're in for a truly shocking surprise. And then it fades away.
I
There's a-
wouldn't touch that door.
There's an out of game inference that I want to make here, Adam. That he's trying to suffuse dead flesh with life via electricity in some Frankenstein-y method. I don't know if that's something that I would cue into as well.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
I mean, but it's not Arcana.
It is Arcana. It totally is. That's Arcana.
23.
Okay, you remember the lore, though in your head you can't remember if the title refers to the titular character or the monster he created. Yeah. So Dr. Frankenstone, an ancient arcanologist, a transmuter and necromancer who maybe originated the first flesh golem. The rituals to create a flesh golem do require massive amounts of lightning or electricity.
Just so everyone is aware what we may be walking into here, the smell lead me to believe that this may be someone's attempt at resurrecting the dead with electric power, as it were.
Didn't I just say that?
Not the dead like you resurrect them, but I mean constructs like golems made of flesh.
It's such a weird thing because they have electricity, but they don't have ways that are not magic to manipulate electricity. They don't know about conduction.
I mean, obviously they do, because she's got like
there's
copper
a copper door that's got
stuff,
electricity.
Then why don't they have like lights? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
It doesn't make sense.
This conversation is happening. Jewel like takes out her crowbar and she's gonna pop one of the barrels open.
Okay, yeah, perfect.